Hi there, welcome to my studio. I'm Lorna Hazelwood and I'm an artist, and I have got such a fun tutorial for you today. I can't wait for you to have a go at it. It's called Mirror Print Beetles. Have fun! Hello there! So I'm so excited for today's tutorial. Beetle mirror print pictures. So the first thing I did was have a look for some pictures of beetles, and I've got an insect book at home. Maybe you have one too, or maybe you could have a look on the internet to find some pictures that will help you, because it's a really good idea to have a little bit of a picture as a reference for this. So that's how I started. For this tutorial, you're going to need a piece of A4 paper or card. You're going to need some black paint and a paintbrush. I've got acrylic paint in here, but you could just have normal ready mix paint and that would be fine. And I have just loosened that up a little bit with 2 or 3 brushfuls of water as well, just to make it slightly looser. And I've got my pencil ready. That's all we need for this. So let's get started. The very first thing we're going to do is fold our piece of paper in half lengthways. So I'm going to do that now, nice and carefully, getting the edges to line up, and I'm going to make a really good fold along there, and then turn it back round because we do need it this way up, because we are working portrait on our paper today. Okay, so with our piece of paper and our pencil, we are going to draw some lines that are just going to help us. We're going to give a guide. This is my folded edge here, and this is the edge of my paper. Okay, so folded edge at this side. Now, more than halfway up the paper, I'm going to draw a horizontal line, just like that. I'm going to press on a bit more actually, so you can really see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to draw a curved line up like that, and that's going to be the first part of our beetle. And then just underneath this line, going to go out horizontally again, just underneath, and then I'm going to do a bigger curved line. Normally when I do this, I press on very lightly with my pencil. It's just to give me a guide. I'm pressing on harder today so that you can see my pencil lines. So at home you need to press on quite lightly, because then if you make a bit of an error along the way, you can just rub it out, it's fine. So those are our 2 basic shapes. Let's add a little bit more at the top here. That's going to be for the sort of head of the beetle. And then I'm going to put a couple of lines on here and there for the limbs. So a line curving up here, that's for a sort of antennae. And then from the bottom part of this shape, I'm going to do a curved line going up, something like that, for one of the legs. Just a little guideline. And from here, I'm going to do a curved line going down for another leg, and one more at the bottom. So those are the only lines I'm going to draw, just to give me a guide when I put my paint on. So pencil down. If I open that back up again, you can see that we've got the blank side of the paper here. Now we're going to try very hard to leave this bit of paper alone, and we're just going to put our marks onto here, and then we're going to print onto this side. So now I'm going to make that fold go the other way, so I'm having to force that paper over a little bit to get that fold to work the other way, so that our drawing is now on the inside, as if you're opening up a book, look. Okay, so that's how you want it, with your lines that you've drawn on the inside and that folded edge to the left. And I think we're ready to start putting some paint on. So only on this side, and we're going to print onto this side. Let me show you how to do it. So I'm going to load up my brush, And you can see that I'm wiping the excess paint on the edge because I don't want to load it with too much. I don't want to be dripping paint everywhere. So I'm going to start with this shape first. So I'm going to apply my paint with my brush. Nice smooth brush stroke. So there's the first bit, and I'm not going to paint the whole thing because it would have started to dry before I print it, so I'm doing it bit at a time. So I paint a part and then I'm going to print. So I do that by pressing on that fold, turning it over and then applying some pressure. I'm not going to rub at it because that might make it move around too much, but I am going to press until I think I've made a good print, and I can do that by having a check. Ooh, there we go, that looks beautiful. And you can see that the print makes this beautiful effect on the paint. Very, very nice. Okay, I'm pleased with that first bit. A bit more paint on my brush, give it a little wipe, gets rid of the excess, and also it makes my paintbrush nice and pointy, ready to paint with. So I quite like doing that. So I'm going to do this bigger shape next. There we go. Right up to the edge. Doesn't matter if it goes over a tiny bit, but we are avoiding this side, remember. And I'm going to do nice vertical brush strokes to colour that in. Okay, over it goes again. On the fold, nice and carefully. Oh, I've got a blob of paint there. Got my trusty rag at my side. I'm going to get that off now because otherwise, knowing me, I'll get it everywhere. Okay. So press, press, press to make that print. So get a little bit of your weight behind it to push down. And if you don't make a good enough print, if you open it up and you're disappointed, you can put some more on. You can have another go. Put a bit more paint on and try again. Okay, oh, that's turning out really nicely. I love those marks where you can see the brush strokes. That's looking really beautiful. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to have a nice edge to my brush so that I can get this head part in. And if you want to use a thinner brush for this, you can do. I like using a thicker brush and just using the tip, but if you find that difficult and want to use a smaller brush, then go for it. And I'm going to get that antennae in as well with the tip of my brush. And I'm going to put a little bit of detail just using the tip like that. Messy fingers. Okay, before it dries, Lorna, come on. Press that down to get a really good print. If you put a bit too much paint on, you might get a splodge. It might sort of push the paint outwards, but don't worry about that. I did that earlier and I just went with it and it looked great by the end. So, oh, there we go. That's nice. I'm enjoying this print a lot. So we're going to do the legs next. So I'm going to use the brush to get a nice mark there, and then the tip of the brush to get that bit in. Okay, and whilst I'm here with the tip of my brush, I'm adding some little detail in. You can do the same with the tip of your brush or using a finer brush. So there we go, let's fold that over. So all the time you're painting a little bit, printing it. Paint a bit, print a bit. Don't let that paint dry out before you've folded it over. It's exciting every time I open this up. Yay, there we go. So some of it didn't print. Now if I was particularly worried about that, I could go over it and do it again, but I'm happy with this so far. I'm really liking this effect. Okay. I'm going to do these lower limbs now. So using my brush to get the shape I want, I'm putting some of these little details on. I'm not going to try and do the other leg as well. I don't want that to dry up. So I'm going to use my hand, I'm using the side of my hand now, just to press that in to make that print. Let's see. Okay, so there we go, we've got that printed there. I'm going to do the next leg, the last leg I should say. So using my brush to create that nice brush stroke, and then the tip of my brush just to get the shape that I'm after. And I'm going to add a little bit of that sort of hair detail using the tip. Okay, so fold that over once again, using my hand to really press down and make that print. Let's have a look. There we go. I think that is done. I could honestly make these prints all day. I absolutely love that effect. So there we go, mirror printed beetles. I've made a few of these already because I just love doing them. You can use a little bit of colour as well, subtle colour here, to show sort of subtle colour in the beetle shells. But yeah, have a go. Honestly, I've loved doing these. What a great tutorial. I'd love to know if you have a go at mirror printed beetles. Okay, till next time. See you later. Bye bye.